We're back at Bendleby Ranges exploring and showing you the bush camping area of Bendleby Ranges in Bendleby Ranges. So come with us and let's go check it out.
Bendleby Ranges is approximately 4 hours from Adelaide CBD, around about 325 kilometres.
The town of Orroroo is the closest place to get supplies if you need them.
Here's a list of what is on offer at Bendleby Ranges. The kiosk offers basic supplies, so check there first before you go to any town.
Now, as soon as you arrive, make sure you check in at the main office.
In the last episode, we focused on the campgrounds just around the station. Now we're going to go deeper into the station in the actual Bendleby Ranges,
Where they're called Bendleby Ranges bush camps.
and we're so excited to show you these bush camps because it really is in the remote area. There's no facilities other than some drop toilets, but that's about it. The aerial shots I'm showing you right now is just off the main station, where you would go into the hidden valley and places like that. From what you can see here, this is just the first part, and this place is huge, and it gets even bigger, and I can't wait to show you all these campsites that you're about to see. Now, this first leg of the journey, we're heading along the Hidden Valley Road and cover two areas. Area 1 is some campsites and the actual Hidden Valley itself. So let's go have a look. It's quite a bit of a drive. It can take about up to 20 minutes to get through, and you need to get through a gate and make sure you close it on your way up. But here's the first one, Black Oak. Let's go further down. The drive's pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. And the campsite itself is quite spacious. Nice fire pit in the middle. There's wood storage that goes under the cast iron cover. There is a drop toilet here, which we'll show you in a minute, but plenty of room to set up anywhere. Trees, you're very private, and you're surrounded by lovely views of changing landscapes. Just out there enjoying this amazing area. You have shade in most parts of the day. Suggest you take some shade with you as well, just in case. But really, you can set up anywhere here, be very, very comfortable. So quickly checking out the toilet facilities. There's no running water or power, anything like that here. In phone reception, I don't think we had any phone reception there at all. Look, the toilets are clean as they can be for drop toilets. They even provide you lime as well to stop the smell. Moving on to Saw Pit, which is just a bit further down and definitely far enough away to not be bothered by anybody else camping. Another great campground. It is flat. Plenty of room still to maneuver. You have that lovely visual in front of you of the creek bed. I'm sure when it has water in it, it's going to be even more amazing. You have the shelter, the fire pit. You also do have a drop toilet. And there are plenty of trees around where your shady spots are, but feel free to set up however you feel comfortable. Toilet's just a little bit up the hill, not far of a walk. You don't want to roll back down. But this one is exactly the same as the other one, except it doesn't have a door. But still functional for a drop toilet. I just love the vibe of this place. It's such a wonderful experience camping here. Doesn't matter which site you're in. Now, moving right along, bit more of a drive to the Manganese campsite. It's a little bit more forward drivey, but this is huge. There's plenty of room for larger groups or even just yourself. But as you can see, you are surrounded by trees, but there's not a lot of shady areas unless you go near the fire pit, and this area in particular. But you can set up wherever you want. It's great. Got the lovely backdrop of all those trees and the ranges. Just a lovely spot. And right in the back of it is another drop toilet. You guessed it. Moving along quite a bit further now down the track, and we get to the boundary gate, and we're going to show you this other area and just how big this place really is. Look at that backdrop of those ranges. It's just stunning. And it goes on for ages. And on and on and on. So if you love to drive, this is the place for you. So back along the road, we open up the boundary gate and carry on to the right towards the hidden valley. Now this is Marty's campground. A bit more going up a hill. This one probably requires a bit more of a forward drive
and clearance.
That smaller site, it is on an angle. I mean, you can still move around. It does have its own drop toilet with a door. And you're surrounded by those trees and shrubs. All right, moving along to the next, which is Poplar. And this one is, well, this one's pretty much on an angle. You can't deny that. It's a small site. And again, you're out in the middle of it. There's no one else around you. You got a fire pit, got that great view. You're surrounded by trees, but this one, if you notice, doesn't have a toilet. All right, next one is Tea Tree. Now, this one, you're definitely going to need a lot of clearance to get through, but once you get up here, it is another generous sized spot. Fire pit, plenty of room to move around. A lot more hills around this one. And you feel a little bit more elevated than the others. But it is a great spot for just being out there and relaxing and seeing those lovely views. Now, if you duck through this little pathway across this little creek, you will get to your drop toilet. Which looks no different than the other than it has a fly screen. So it has a screen door, so you get a view while you're outside. How cool is that? Just have a look at that cliffside and that mountain there. And the creek bed, which is what you drove down to get through, to get to here. Now when you come out of Tea Tree, you turn right and go straight down to the next site, which actually is called Slate Quarry. I imagine there's a lot of slate around here. But this is actually another large, generous site set against those lovely hills. Plenty of shade, two separate areas with two separate fire pits. Great site. Look at that tree. Can you imagine just sitting near there and enjoying that lovely view and that openness and space? It's quite an adventure playground really when you think about it. It does have a drop toilet right at the back. And it's like all the others, they're stocked with that lime, nice seating. And yeah, outlook is amazing. And there's that other fire pit which separates the two areas. Moving right along towards Riverbend, but the first stop is Echidna Creek. Echidna Creek is another area that's just a nice flat site in the middle of these ranges, ready to be used and camped on. Pretty open space, not as much shade as others that we've seen. You are surrounded by those trees, but they're not as tall and providing those shady spots that you would get in the others. So bring some shade. Equipped with another drop toilet. Not surprising, stocked just the same as the others. And you do have a road that goes around, a ring road that goes around it if you want to maneuver. Continuing on down this track, we're heading off to Riverbend. Now this one really is set in amongst the mountains, lots of trees, shady spots, wood shelter, there's a drop toilet, fire pit, and you really feel like you are actually in a valley. A couple of little nook sites that you can set up. But have a look at that. That is that creek bed. This is where you're camping. And just a quick look of the toilet facilities. You guessed it, another drop toilet. Moving down to the Sugarloaf. Now this spot is again another large generous spot with 2 drop toilets, quite a large area to camp in. So pick wherever you want to set up. You have these great amazing trees to look at and view of these ranges. The fire pits are there. It's not on an angle, lots of room to maneuver. And extremely private, just like all the others that we've seen so far. Here's the first drop toilet. And then we're going to go backtrack and have a look at the second one. But imagine sitting out looking at that view in the afternoon or in the morning, thinking of all the 4 drive tracks that you're about to do. And here's the other drop toilet. This one is cow bale. Quite a bit further down. Well, look at that. That's a great view to set up in front of and just hang out. You spent the whole day doing those wonderful 4 drive tracks. You come back and you have a look at this. Feels a bit more foresty. Enjoying that lovely fire pit. And don't forget that wood storage. It's going to be very handy. And just behind there, we have our drop toilet. Now you can cut through here to get to the toilet. You don't have to walk around like I did. I just wanted to show you the road in. Now we're getting into what they call the Hidden Valley. This is the furthest away from the station, or one area that's furthest away from the station. Lots of little campsites in here, all tucked inside the Hidden Valley. Such a stunning spot. Lovely, lovely, lovely spot to set up camp. And the drive in feels like you're in a different world. That's why they call it the Hidden Valley. So the first campsite you get to the Hidden Valley is called Solly's. Solly's is right on the outskirts of the Hidden Valley. It's quite nice. It's got everything you want: a fire pit, trees, flat ground. There's a ring road around it so you can maneuver pretty easily. It does have shady spots, but there's a little bit of a walk to the toilet. Not too far, but you might walk a little bit to the toilet. And it's uphill on the way in. Alright, now we're really into the Hidden Valley. This is Valley View. Have a look. It's huge. Look at those hills and that wonderful backdrop behind you that you get to see as part of the Hidden Valley. This is quite a big spot as well. Very generous. Toilet is far enough away, but not a hard walk to get to. Lots of space. You want to pick where you set up because there's not a lot of shade, as you can see. But it's a nice open spot with a great fire pit for you to use and hang around. Just over this little creekway, let's check out this toilet. Alright, further into the Hidden Valley we go to Brady's camp. Now, in the Hidden Valley, a lot of these sites now that you see are much closer together. Still far enough apart, but if you want to have a group of friends hanging out, it's all walking distance. It's a great spot. I mean, you will get people driving past you, but not that many. It doesn't matter. Look where you are. You're in a forest, you're in the Hidden Valley. You really do feel like you're in a valley with those mountains right next to you, or those ranges. Nice, great area. Easy driving. Straightforward. Room to maneuver. Fairly well sheltered. So a great spot to set up. You have a spot for that wood storage. A toilet just over there. I don't know about you, but I always like having some sort of toilet facilities immersed amongst the trees, so you've got something nice to look out to while you're doing your business. Look, this area certainly does feel quite like an adventure playground. Quick journey down to Ragodia. This little campsite is also very nice, set amongst the trees in the valley, has a fire pit, that shelter. There's a toilet just in the background there, which I'll point out. just look at those trees that you're surrounded by, and the serenity is just amazing. Ready to go for you to enjoy this wonderful hidden valley. Alright, Red Gum's next on the list. Nice little straightforward entry, toilet in the background. Fire pit there for you. Not the biggest that we've seen today, but large enough to set up quite comfortably. But look, you have those hills in the background. Alright, let's make our way and check out the toilet. Bit of a marked out pathway here with rocks, and quite cute actually. This toilet is probably a lot more rustic than the other ones that we've seen, but it's still ready for use. Alright, going back through the same pathway. Going to go to Cyprus. Not the country, just the campsite. This is right at the end of the hidden valley. As an easy entry in, you can get around pretty straightforward. Bit of an incline in some places. But you are right next to the toilet, great. And some shady spots there, but it's pretty open, so you might want to think about bringing some shade. Just through these shrubs and bushes, we make our way to the toilet. That's it for the hidden valley. We're now going to make our way back to the boundary gate and head the other direction down Black Oak Drive to She Oak Campground. This is basically a very open campground. You have your toilet, your drop toilet there. There's a fire pit, huge spot. You are surrounded by trees, but please bring some shade. And enjoy this campsite for what it is. There's certainly lots to look at. Great spot. There's firewood that's been supplied, fire pit which you can use it in. The toilet's close by, and if I can draw your attention to those ranges in the background, how awesome is that? Now let's take a bit of a scenic drive to the next campsite called Easter. Have a look at this drive, eh? Brilliant. And it keeps going. So here's Easter campsite. No, this was an interesting campsite. Right next to the toilet was the best phone reception. But hey, you got this little rock wall surrounding the fire pit with your wood storage. Beautiful backdrop. Huge space, set up anywhere, quite comfortably, flat. You got those hills in the background. And the toilet just over there where you can get phone reception. So really nice drive in. I won't say it's straightforward, but it is a nice drive in. We're done at Easter. Now we're going to have a look at the other side of Bendleby Ranges. So we're going to head back to the very beginning at the station and head the opposite way and make our way to the next area campgrounds. Quite a nice drive. It is a bit of a way, but you'll soon see it's definitely worth it. And this is Mitchell's Campground. This campground has its own toilet. This is a little bit smaller than what we've seen, and you want to be mindful of what platform you bring in here. So there's a fire pit in the middle. If you've got something that's quite large, probably not the best spot unless you reverse in, but it is a great little camping area that's just in amongst everything with great views and great scenery. This is going to sound a bit odd, but I just love the diversity of the drop toilets. I know the drop toilets, but some have screen doors, most have doors, some are a bit more rustic than others. I think it's great. Now, onto Plumbush. There is a gate that you need to get through, and a little bit of a drive through these lovely trees and this foresty area. But here you go. This is Plumbush. A long campground, fire pit in the middle, toilet with it. Great spot, great space, plenty of room for any platform. So back out the way we came, and we're going all the way down to see Gum Gorge. Now, it's quite a drive. It's probably the furthest away, and there are options with the tracks, some more difficult than others. I pretty much think we found the most difficult ones when we got towards the end there, but that's okay. It was fun. This is probably the most isolated campsite in the ranges, on a bit of an angle. There is a drop toilet and a great fire pit. You're surrounded by trees, but again, you're the furthest away, so you're not going to get any traffic around here or much people coming through. But it is a nice spot if you want to be totally and utterly isolated, but bring some shade. All in all, this is a huge property with amazing diversity, different places to camp and set up. Lots of forward driving, great tracks, all ranging from easy, medium to difficult, and even some great walking tracks as well. So absolutely found this place very, very enjoyable. Look at that sunset. We're on our way
to Sunset Ridge here at Bendleby Ranges after filming all of their sites in Bendleby Ranges, which is where most of the 4 drive tracks are. Come here, check it out, it's awesome. And remember, camp by me and you'll be a happy camper.
And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all our content. You won't regret it. And also check out our social media. Thanks for your support.
He was on a dad bod calendar.
I'm sure you want to see that, man.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, hang on. Where are we? Bendleby Ranges.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? I'll get you a present for that one. I'm not used to an audience.
Okay, sure.
Let's go.
I love an audience.
All right. Bendleby Ranges Campground. We are on Sunset Ridge.
Because the Bendleby Ranges bush camp.
And you'll be a happy camper.
Woo!